the Cherokees were not forced out. In fact, if you read the Treaty of Neochota, Article 12 specifically states that all those individuals who wanted to become citizens, remain in the state where they resided and become citizens, could do so. And many of them did. After the treaty was ratified in 1836, the Treaty of Neochota, a lot of these mixed bloods and Indian countrymen in Georgia signed up for citizenship. And in 1838, which leads me to some of the records that I wanted to mention that are in the book, in 1838, Georgia passed the first of 6 acts granting citizenship to these particular individuals and these particular families. 6 different acts through 1845, and these are in one of the appendices in the back of this book. And that was done, as it explains in the preface there, this was done under provisions of Article 12 of the Treaty of Neochota. The other thing is, in terms of records, is I have last wills and testaments, I have reservation claims, and one of the things that's important that I wanted to mention in terms of records in the appendices, and I told John when we were cutting these things, slicing things out, I said, you know, these certain things that just have to stay in here. They're really essential, and the acts of the Georgia legislature, that was one of them. And then the other one was the 1830 abstracts from the census, federal population census schedules for Habersham, Hall, and Gwinnett counties. And the reason for that is, through 2 legislative acts passed in 1828-29, Georgia annexed the Cherokee frontier west of the Chattahoochee. And this was to become effective June 1st, 1830. And on that date, Governor George Gilmer issued a proclamation telling the Cherokee people that from that day forward, then, all citizens, all residents in the Cherokee Nation, white or red, were under the jurisdiction of Georgia's laws. It made null and void Cherokee laws. It prohibited them after 1830, after June 1st, 1830, from meeting in council, in regular October councils at Neochota. They were prohibited from meeting there anymore. After that, after June 1st, 1830, they met in council at Red Clay in Tennessee. So as a consequence of this action, the bounds of Habersham, Hall, Gwinnett, DeKalb, Carroll County were extended. Those 5 counties extended all the way across the Chattahoochee, all the way across the Cherokee Nation to Alabama and Tennessee. The description of the boundary, for example, Hall County, the Hall County extension started, came across the Chattahoochee, west side of the Chattahoochee River, followed up Ball Ridge Creek to its mouth, and then from there to a point where the federal road crossed the Etowah River in northwest Forsyth County. And from that point then, the county line of Hall and Gwinnett followed that federal road route all the way to Tennessee. So consequently, when the census was taken in 1830 for these 5 counties, the last several pages, and this is especially true with Hall and Gwinnett counties, the last several pages reflect families and individuals who were living not across the river in the established boundaries of those counties, but they were living in the Cherokee Nation. You find them all the way to Tennessee on those 2 censuses. And some people, you lived on the north side of the line, you were in Hall County, and the south side of the federal road, you were in Gwinnett County. So I picked those pages, those last pages from Habersham and Hall and Gwinnett, and I set those up then in one of the appendices, listing those individuals who were recognized Indian countrymen, and the Indian countryman term refers to those intermarried white men. That was a polite phrasing that they used at the time to refer to those people who had intermarried with the tribe. They called them, in their correspondence, they called them Indian countrymen. The less polite society called them squaw men. So the last pages of those censuses then I set up and alphabetized in each of those counties for those white men that were recognized and known to be living west of the Chattahoochee in the Cherokee Nation and had Indian families, and those individuals were recognized and known to be Cherokee mixed bloods. find all of those in one of the appendices in the back.